on the homestead where the gardens grow.
2 weeks ago, I started something I've never done before, making my very first sourdough starter, and today I'm preparing for my very first loaf of bread. I've seen many tutorials on how to do sourdough. Take you right from the beginning, show you how to make the starter, and I had no idea how to do it. I decided to ask ChatGPT. It started with just flour and water. I had no idea what I was doing, but I decided to learn. Every day I fed it and watched it slowly come to life. My tutor through the whole process has been ChatGPT. I ask questions every day, from feeding the starter to learning how to stretch and fold the dough. I took photos of my starter every day. I'd created a project in ChatGPT, especially for making sourdough, and I uploaded photos every day of what my sourdough looked like and asked ChatGPT what I should do. It would analyse the bubbles, what was happening to the sourdough, and tell me whether I should feed it, how much I should discard. Along the way, it was very cool where we lived, and ChatGPT told me to put it in the microwave during the day with a cup full of water that had been boiled beside it, just to keep an even warmer temperature. Because it was so cool where we lived, it was taking the sourdough starter a long time to become fully active. I didn't turn the microwave on, I just used it as a little microclimate inside. I had started off using wholemeal flour the very first day and used it for the first few days, but then ChatGPT said that I should be putting some white baker's flour in. It suggested I do a quarter a cup white baker's flour and then a tablespoon of wholemeal flour. So I started doing that, and that's how I continued along most days for the whole of the 14-day period. I just kept uploading a photo every morning. ChatGPT would tell me how it thought it looked, whether I needed to discard, how much flour I needed to add. I continued on this way for 14 days, just discarding, adding the recommended amount of flour and water, of course, every day until day 14. It asked me to do a float test, so I popped a small amount of the sourdough starter into some water and it floated, and then it was time to bake my first loaf. These are some of the photos I uploaded every day with all the different changes and different things that were happening to it every day. Putting it in the microwave, watching it rise, watching it fall, asking how much flour I should put in each day, how much water, and giving it a good stir. I put the elastic band on it so that I could see each day how high it had risen.
Flow water, time and care, simple magic everywhere. Hands in dough and hearts that know, slow is how good things grow. Stretch and fold, gentle and slow, watching the little bubbles show, from the starter to the loaf, a simple kind of hope. Ooh.
Now that I've added my starter and salt, I begin bringing the dough together. I mix until there are no dry patches left. Just a rough, shaggy dough. It doesn't need to be smooth at this stage, just combined. Then I cover it and let it rest for 30 minutes. This rest allows the flour to fully absorb the water and starts building structure naturally.
Bread the way it used to be in every family.
After 30 minutes, I begin my first stretch and fold. I lift one side of the dough, stretch it up slowly, then fold it back over itself. I turn the bowl and repeat, stretch, fold, turn, until I've gone all the way around. Already you can feel the dough changing, becoming tighter, stronger. Then I cover it again and let it rest for another 30 minutes, and then I do it again. Stretch, fold, turn. This becomes a rhythm. I repeat this process 4 times every 30 minutes. With each round, the dough becomes smoother, more elastic, more alive. After the final fold, I leave the dough to rest, covered on the bench, for around 4 to 6 hours. This is the bulk fermentation. Slowly, quietly, the dough rises. It fills with air, becomes soft, slightly jiggly. When you move it, you're looking for a gentle dome and small bubbles beneath the surface. When it's ready, I turn it out onto the bench. Now I handle it gently, careful not to lose all that air we've built. I begin shaping, folding the edges into the centre, then turning it over and slowly tightening it into a round. You can feel the surface tension building as it comes together. Then I place it into a floured bowl or banneton, seam side facing up. Now it rests again. You can leave it on the bench for a couple of hours or place it in the fridge overnight for a slower, deeper flavour. When I'm ready to bake, I preheat the oven to 220 degrees with my Dutch oven inside. Once it's hot, I carefully turn the dough out, a light dusting of flour, and then I score the top. This allows the bread to open as it bakes. Then into the oven it goes, lid on for 20 minutes, holding in the steam, helping the loaf rise. Then I remove the lid and bake for another 20 to 25 minutes until the crust is deep, golden and crisp. When it comes out of the oven, you can hear it, that gentle crackling sound. That's the crust settling. Now comes the hardest part, waiting. But when you finally slice into it, that beautiful crunch, and inside, a soft, airy crumb, all made from flour, water, salt, and thyme. I've developed such a passion for making sourdough now, and I'm improving every time I make another loaf. It's so amazing to wake up to have fresh, beautiful sourdough every day for breakfast, and I'm really grateful that I've learned how to do it, and it was a relatively simple process.